What's up, everybody? It's your favorite high-speed dubs favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Magic Square. It's like something stupid, Talk Ripple or something. It's their Soundwave, right? This is all known to me from Robert D. He loaned me the tape set as well, so we'll be looking at that soon. We looked at the Sound Blaster, we looked at the Laser Beak, so I'm anxious to kind of put a pin in this set and wrap it up. But in order to do so, we need to look at accessories. Alright, I don't know if you remember, but we had some discrepancies when we did the Sound Blaster version of the hands, and I ended up finding an extra hand later. Let me tell you what the problem is with this set. I don't think I've lost any hands. He comes with the two holding hands for his weapons. Then he's supposed to come with, I guess, two pointing hands, and then two eject hands. I don't know why he has a right eject hand when it's the left side that has the eject button, and we don't have a left side eject button. Instead, we have two of the left side pointing hands, so you can't pull off the ejection thing unless he didn't pack it in the box, because I certainly don't see it around. And I'll continue looking, but I've kept pretty good track of it this time. He comes with the kind of Energon making cube. If you remember, I had issues getting the other one stuck in the chest, but we'll take a look at this one. It's just a translucent box with no end on one side of the cube. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it doesn't really fit in the chest, and it doesn't really snap in unless you like really push it in there, and then you're gonna damage the paint. So once again, same issue. He comes with his signature kind of blaster weapon. We have the silver bit that's painted here, the red stripe that's painted in, some black that's painted in. It's decently sculpted. I'll show you where it fits in alt mode when we go through the transformation, but this bit here, just as a heads up, can also slide the entire underpiece. He'll hold that just fine. He also has this one, which is more for the shoulder mounted thing. This bit does extend all the way, so you can get a little bit of a a little bit of a tilt up and down. I'll try to show that when it's on the shoulder. Has the red stripe around, and then nothing else really. Once again, I'll show you where this plugs in alt mode as we go through the transformation. This will plug into his shoulder just fine, and then it will even hinge up and down a little bit. He comes with a sticker sheet if you so desire to use any of these. Maybe it'll help with the kind of tape look. But it's up to you whether you think it's worth all of that. I think it's probably more enjoyable in robot mode anyway. He comes with two of the pile drivers, and they do extend, and we have some purple paint added to the kind of lighter color plastic, and sculpted detail as well. And they just go on his arms like the MP. You just tuck it in, and it does hold with tension. Holds pretty well, honestly. And it's a little challenging to get it in, so to speak. Rumble also comes with two of his weapons, sculpted plastic, like it's got detail and stuff, and then this bit extends and retracts, and they plug in for alt mode. I'll show you that when we do the transformation. But be careful, these can come out all the way, like on the other side, so when you collapse them, just be mindful because they can come all the way through. They'll peg into his back, and he can also hold them. So Rumble is kind of an accessory in and of himself. He has a head swivel. You have red and silver paint on the face. You have silver paint on the chest, and then you have this lighter blue. You have ball pegs that come to a hinge at the shoulder, basically, so you can get the arm all the way up, down, and around. You have a ball peg at the elbow, so you can get that up not to 90 degrees and swivel that back and forth as well. And then you have a paint stripe around the forearm, same for the other side. You have a waist swivel, which is pretty impressive. You have white paint added to the pelvis. The T-jointed ball pegs will get you out to about there. Forward and back for the full Monty. You have a single hinged knee that'll get you a little bit past 90 degrees. You have a swivel at the ankle, and you have a swivel at the knee. You could use whichever one you like. Red, white, and yellow paint on the lower leg, and then white paint for the and a rocker. So I mean, he's pretty impressive. He's a pretty impressive guy. So let's take this off, and we'll do the transformation. I'm gonna go from tape to robot with the tape set. So we'll do robot to tape. And I'm not that comfortable with it, so we're just gonna kind of feel our way through it. So the body flips back on itself. The shoulders come up and form 90-degree box. And same for this side. And then we have the knees which will turn around, and you have to face the ankles in as well, and box off the lower legs. Same for the other side. And then once you have the kind of square shape, then you take your weapons here, collapse the barrel, and peg those in. And with my hands, it's easier said than done. And then do the same for the other side. I won't waste your time with it. And then you have the tape, which we'll talk about here in a second. And here's tape mode. You know, and it's more suggestive than it is anything else, but it's interesting that it can pull it all off, you know, articulation-wise and stuff. You kind of just got to forgive it. I'm guessing that if you squish it up tight enough, it'll go in Soundwave's chest. We'll go into this a bit more when we get to the tape box set, but it's not easy. It's a pain, and you'd have to really kind of crunch the numbers, so to speak, in order to fit it in, and I wouldn't put yourself through that. I don't think it's necessary. But there it is. Hey, it turns into a square. What do you want? So I guess you could consider the Scout an accessory as well. The tape mode pulls off pretty well. It doesn't have to do a whole lot, to be fair. You slide down the legs. Actually, honestly, as you go to open it, they'll slide down on their own. And then you'll see the two sculpted wheels. You get the front little ramp bit that has another wheel. You get the back little thing, and then you have the little claw that comes out. The claw doesn't articulate at any of the hinges, just sort of right here. Some nice silver paint, some darker gunmetal paint there on the sides, and it can sit there and, you know, do just pretty much about as much as any of these has ever done, which is fine, I guess, you know. And he will actually fit in the chest with no problem. And then we can kind of take this in, and you know, I think that this works pretty well. It doesn't feel the most stable, like, I don't know, it kind of feels like you're looking at this as like a front plate and the rest of it is kind of more suggestive. But you know, I don't know if it's the color or something. When you just put it there, it's the nostalgia, you know. It's not great, but it kind of works. So I don't know. Like, the yellow paint looks good, the gray looks good, all of the kind of standout features that you recognize as Soundwave being Soundwave do work, and there it is next to Tiger Tracks. Alright, so let's get it transformed. If you want to see how it goes, it comes in robot package. You know, I always do my transformations how it comes in package, unless I'm looking at the mold for the second time, which I am this time, in which case I do it the opposite way so that both ways are covered on my channel. With that being said, let's break it down. So if you come around here to the back and open up these panels, this one's a little bit trickier. This is where the weapons are stored in alt mode to kind of finish out the square, perpendicular to the square. And then your legs tab into the side here so you can bring them down and around. This piece you can also untab and just bring it up and get it out of the way. We can pretty much get these legs accounted for at this point. The main thing that you have to do is you can flip the feet out for one on both sides. This gray tab here has to come around and slide into there. And it's a series of hinges, like 1 hinge, 2 hinge, 3 hinge, 4, and just sort of manipulate it until, and it can be a little frustrating because you have to kind of work against the hinges, but there it is. Once you have it in there, you're good to go, so to speak. You can wrap up some of these panels here. This one comes down, and this one comes in, and this one comes up to the back, and then that will tab into the back of the foot. And then we can do the same on this side. So bring all this up, use your series of hinges to make this fall into place the best you can. There you go. Panels, we got to flip down, we got to flip around, and we got to flip up, and then bring this back, and that's pretty much your legs. We do have to get some of this stuff out of the way. You can bring these arms up, you can flip the hands down, we can go ahead and do that, and then flip these panels back onto themselves. And mine comes untabbed there, but you get the idea. All right. So then this piece has to come up. The head has to go through that surface there, comes up, spins around the back plate. While it's up, you can maneuver. Just pretend that didn't happen. This piece around here to the back, right? And then you have the front piece at the front. No, that's not right. Because this piece has to come down and spin 360 and go around here, and then you spin the bottom waist point back. And now he's looking good. All right, so the arms are done, the waist is done, the legs are done, and we'll just clean up here in the back. Let's see, panel up, down, down, done. I'll clean them up, we'll take a look at them. And let's talk about the robot mode. So we have silver paint on the face and red paint on the head. Looks good. It's also a really good head sculpt, and it's both metallic paints. You have a flap here that'll get you a little bit up, but it is on a ball peg that you don't need it, so you get up a fair bit. Not really anything down. And a swivel. The chest has a nice yellow paint application. Yellow's not an easy color to do, and they do it well. You get a waist swivel and reverse ab crunch. For the shoulders, you have a universal joint, gets you up a fair bit and around. We also have silver on that eject button, by the way. We have a bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, and then a wrist swivel. Same for the other side, and we have red paint around the forearms. Nicely done. Silver paint down here at the pelvis. I said the waist swivel right. And then we have T-jointed ball joints for hips for the full Van Damme. And if we get this flap out of the way, the full Monty, so no issues there. Thigh swivel at the base of the universal. We have a double jointed knee that gets you almost the full run. I say we give it to him. Little bit of paint accents there on the side. Some nice silver and yellow paint there. We have an ankle tilt down, an ankle tilt up, a rocker, paint on the inside. Really, really, really looks pretty good. I will say that this, I thought it was going to, I thought this gray here was going to be whiter. And with as kind of as tune accurate as they've been trying to get, I'm a little surprised and a little disappointed that it's not like kind of a pristine white, which is kind of how he was in the cartoon. But a decent, good little figure nonetheless. Size comparison wise, there he is with an old school Iron Factory and a Hasbro Legends offering. And there he is with the Iron Factory Tarn. So hopefully that gives you an idea. There he is with the rest of his minions minus Laserbeak, because I've already sent back Sound Blaster. But yeah, you know, I wouldn't change anything necessarily about the way he looks with this set. They look really good together. Negatives wise, still that magic square plastic does come into play. As time has gone on, I've become less tolerant of it, mainly because of what New Age is offering. But stuff like when I'm going through the transformation and you have to swivel 3 different pieces on the waist and the one part just comes completely off the mushroom peg. I mean, at least it doesn't break, right? But still, that's a materials issue is what that is. I'm sure that Robert got a bad bag of hands, but if he didn't, that's super stupid. But I'm guessing that he got a bad. It wouldn't be reasonable to fathom that he wouldn't have got the bad batch, that they would have literally put in 2 pointing hands on one side. The alt mode doesn't look great. The face covering of it looks good, but it doesn't really do the trick in my opinion. And I do wish that the gray was a brighter white. I feel like they're trying to go for a hypertune accurate look, and that white would have been the right choice there. Positives wise, the sculpt work is great. Definitely looks like Soundwave. Robot cleans up like a champ. It's well articulated. The engineering is involved. It's intricate. The accessories are all integrated. Rumble is awesome. Plus it comes with the bonus scout thing. So I can recommend it if you're in for the scale. I think that you'll definitely be happy with it. I just don't think it's their best offering, but it's far from their worst. And I think most people will enjoy it. Hope that helps. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.